for more information. Yeah. Okay, then I think that
yes, so thinking introduction and also introduce about RCA templates. Now we will revisit for all the steps in the AD report to understand. So please remember that we just revisit. We will not go detail as you have already material in the My Learning. For step 0D, before you going to another later step to analyze the root cause analysis, you need to evaluate the problem, the symptoms. So normally the deviation will come from the claim, the quality issue, or any deviation you found in the daily production operation. So why we said that this step is important? Because you will know the background of the problem to allocate the resources for the root cause analysis. For example, we move to the next step, establish the team. So how to know who is the person to involve to the team? This will come from the step 0, right? For example, if the issue related to suing process, so no need to involve other process to the analysis. Or if you have more than one packing process, so is it necessary to involve other team other than packaging team? So that's the reason why we need to evaluate the background of the problem before we establish the team. And when you establish the team, you should following those steps to make sure that you have proper analysis later on. First of all, team should have a knowledge of the products of the process or factory size or highway aspects. For example, you produce many of the products with a different material. So if the issue related to textile products. So I think that the team has a good knowledge what textile material should involve and who responsible for this process should involve in the team for analysis. And depends on the issue, you should have the multidisciplinary. What does it mean? For example, if the issue related to technical, so engineers should involve during the analysis. If the issue related to environmental safety, so EHS specialists should present in the team. Or when you have any issue like for salary, for the policy, so HR specialist is also needed. And depends on the issue like quality or highway, so we separately like quality responsible for the quality issue and highway responsible for the any things related to health safety and environment. The next one that you need to have a adequate capability to introduce proper solution of problem. What does it mean? When you analyze and you have the root cause already on your hands, but you don't have the capability to introduce the solution or apply the solution, so it's also not effective, right? So when you have any root cause already, so you also have a capability to have a corrective action. It means that the proper solution to make sure that we eliminate the root cause to prevent the issue happening again. And when you work as a team, always should have a leader who will be responsible to connect all the people, coordinate, supervise, and follow each step with the people to make sure that AD report will be closed by implementation and verify the effectiveness.
Lệ Nguyễn à? Từ từ.
So in step 2D, you already have a team, right, from the step 1. Now you are sitting together as a team to describe the real problem. So from the symptoms you receive, now you sit down and you use the method we call 5W2H or 5W1H
Lệ Nguyễn đúng không?
to describe very detailed to make sure that you allocate people to the right location. For example, which line that happened the issue and how many lines related. For example, if it's just process like sewing process, or if related to the packing process, or it's related to final inspection. So define very clear the scope, where it happened, when, about the timeline, what is the issue, and why is it a problem for you to analyze? Why is it a deviation? So when you have all the information to describe the real problem, now you know the direction to go to the next step. Established containment action is also really important whenever you find any problem, right? To make sure that you will prevent the escalation of the problem, to make sure that non-conformance will be stay in the factory in the process, not extend to another area. Here we have some example of the containment action, like start the shipment, start the production. For example, when you receive one claim from one customer, so now from this customer, you need to define how many batch or the quantity of the final product that have the issue. And then you need to, for example, if you want to recall from another customer, for example, so you need to have the data, right? That is also the containment action. Also, you need to inform, like I take example, if other customer also be impacted by the defects, you need to inform, and then you need to recall, and you need to rework. Make sure that whenever you done all the containment action, only goods, finished goods that go to the customer. And the importance that you need to keep the containment action when until the root cause is fully eliminated. Means that when you successfully implement the corrective action, then you can start the containment action. And this action is not solve the problem, it just prevents the escalation of the problem. So now you are safe the non-conformance already in your factory, in the happen area. So what you will do next?
Thank you, Anne. So, as a part of the AD methodology, this one and sometimes we call the cause and effect diagram is included in this methodology. And where is it is included? So we will have a look at the next slide. So this one, cause and effect diagram is included in step 40. We call this step is find the root cause. So it's all about finding the potential causes and collect facts to verify them. So potential causes can only be found when the incident happens. So it means that if we don't have any incident, so it means that we don't have any potential cause. And the potential cause has a direct visible link to the incident. And we have to consider all possible potential causes, as many as possible. And in parallel, we need to collect facts or evidence to verify the potential cause as well. And based on that, we can confirm which one is the direct potential cause of the problem. When it comes to like the specific detail on the step and tool, how we use to finding the root cause, we would like to bring you to the description on what step. So we have the first step, step number 1, identification of the potential causes. It's all about the brainstorming. So at this step, the prioritization is we need to form a team as just introduced to you. I just want to highlight that this team should be should include the member of the cross-functional department in order to have like the different angles of brainstorming or analyze this when it's come to the finding the potential cause of the problem. And here we have some tips for brainstorming. Try to always break down the problem into more than one potential cause, because it's very common that there is more than one potential cause of the problem. And remember to break down from the first level is the most important. So it means that at the first question, when you ask what is the potential cause of the problem, you need to think out of the box and think more than one answer for the question. So it means that it's not only at the second or the third level or the other level. At the first level, you need to break down the problem into more potential causes, more than one. And if you miss some causes at first time, you may miss many root causes, because root causes might hidden somewhere at the first answer of the question. When you start to digging into what is the potential cause of the problem, and here you have the you should think like a detective and be always suspicious on the problem and think about the potential cause. And here we have the Ishikawa or fishbone diagram. I believe that most of you have been very familiar with this kind of diagram. Some industry they use the fishbone terms. Some industry they use the term cause and effect diagram, and some they call Ishikawa. So in general, this fishbone diagram we describe the symptom or the effect in at the head of the fish, and the remaining part of the fish is the bone. Is where we allocate all the possible potential causes into the specific categories. Here we have in this training 6 categories. The first one is machine, the second is material, the other is the man, and other categories about human nature, or sometimes we call environment, and the other category is about the methods, and the last one is the measurement. So once you have finished the step of brainstorming, you have list down all the potential causes. This is the time for you to allocate all the potential causes into its relevant categories in the fishbone diagram. Excellent. Okay, so this means that you have completed step number 1, brainstorming, and we need to have the further sub-step we call prioritization of the potential cause. And before we go into the prioritization, we should recapture some guidelines for Ishikawa diagram. We need to record all the ideas. So whenever any ideas come up to your mind, you just record all the ideas and no judgment at the time of brainstorming. So it means that there's no bad idea at this moment. And if you have like similar idea, you can combine it together to set and bring in order of likelihood as well. And please remember, say the first thing you think of. Whatever comes back up in your mind, you just say what you think and then record that idea. And in this step of prioritization of potential causes, imagine that you have like a pool of potential causes. So what do you need to do next is you need to back back to our slide. You need to put it in so-called funnel and then filter out which one is the major direct cause of the problem before going forward to other analysis step. And to answer the question how we can filter out which one is the major direct cause, we have this kind of tool we call verification matrix. Remember that the direct cause has a direct physical link to the incident. The indirect cause has not. So we use this verification matrix, which excludes the column of the area where we describe the potential cause related to which category, and we have the column we describe the detail of the potential cause. We have the column to capture what is the fact or the evidence we found when we verify this potential cause. And we have the column to measure that the verification is completed or not. And the last column is where we just define which one is the main direct potential cause. So remember that we need to have the discussion within the team, and this always come together with the fact or evidence to support for the verification of the cause. And last one, we need to confirm each of them are potential direct cause based on the fact.
Khôi, maybe you can add in one thing. In the new RC templates, I think if you have gone through this template, then you can see one table which is called verification metric. So after you have done with the 6M fishbone, and then you transfer all of the potential causes into the verification matrix. And then from that perspective, as Khôi already shared, you need to kind of like verify each potential cause by potential cause to really based on facts or based on evidence. You said that this is not really kind of like major defects, or it's not really impact to major effects. So from that perspective, you can kind of like eliminate some of the potential cause which is not related to the causes. Thank you.
So now we come to the 5Y analysis. So this is the final step of the finding the root cause. So I would like to summarize a little bit for the step we go through in the 40 step. So first, the step 1, we need to identify all the potential causes, and this part needs to brainstorming a lot and need to gather all the team to identify all the potential causes can make the problem happen. The second one, that we will prioritize the potential cause, and we will relocate this potential cause into 6M fishbone system. And finally, the next step, after we set up like the prioritize, we need to verify, gather all the information to identify the main direct cause before we go to the final step is 5Y. So 5Y, we know a lot. We know that the theory of the 5Y in the previous training, and now we can come back to the self-learning that Anh already shared in the chat box. So I would like to share some information related to 5Y for our for our reminder. Okay, so 5Y is like a technique that we will ask like single why question to identify the root cause. So when we identify the main potential direct cause, we will ask why this happened. And we will gather the information, or we will brainstorming together to find the cause. And the answer of this first one will be the next question of second one. So we will go until we find out the root cause. And I would like to emphasize that Firewire is not like the job for the task for individual persons. It's either teamwork task. So you in the Firewire you need to focus on the process, not like not people, and more like cross-functional, more people, right persons will collect the comprehensive information to make the decisions. And I would like to ask you one question, and you can type in the chat box. So, how do you like? Do you have like any methods or tests to ensure that the root cause you identify at the Firewire is the right root cause, and you go through the correct check for the Firewire? So you can type down in the chat box. How to verify? Yeah, how to verify? Yeah. How to decide we stop at this one, not go further. Yes. How to we identify this is right root cause and no need to go further. Can you put in the chat what is the current method? Yeah. And while you are waiting for the test, I would like to share one information that sometimes for one white questions we can receive like one or two answers, and we need to like gather team to collect the fact and the figure of the information to form with the answer which like direction we should go further. So get backward or gather, review the documents or other verification activity is still necessary for Firewire.
Làm cái này hay hơn này, cái quay này hay hơn này. Mình sẽ có những cái câu hỏi, ví dụ câu 1 nói sao, xương cá thì không thích, thật sự tôi thích 5 quay. Có nhiều khi không cần quay nào nó ra luôn.
Have any test or method to reconfirm that okay, the root cause we identify in here is right root cause and no need to go furthermore. Or like we keep go right check when you go to the Firewire.
Cần để xương cá hay là sao? Đưa ra tại sao?
Very important to form a team.
So I think we can move to next slide and we find what is the test in here. So we have therefore test. Therefore test is like when we identify the root cause in here, we will come back to ask again. The flow, we will go back to the flow to see like this flow it makes sense or not. So we can see in the example we also in the slide. So we identify the rubber lining inside coupling is worn out. So we use therefore test. So because of rubber lining inside of the coupling is worn out, therefore the oil is leaking. And because of the oil leakage, so it is therefore because of the oil leakage, so therefore the machine is dripping, and because of the machine's dripping, therefore the oil is on the floor, and because of the oil on the floor, therefore the floor is slippery and unsafe. So okay, we know that we go to the right track, and the root cause we identify in here is roughly lining inside is worn out, so it's in the right root cause. So it is some technique to like double check that we go to the right way. Yes. So that is all from we finish after we go to the Firewire, we finish for the 4D step of the AD report. So we will go to the next step. Yeah, then over to chị Hiền.
Okay, thank you, Phương. And we already go through about the 5 why, and now we go to the next one. So after non-conformance is found, we need to take some certain actions before identifying about the root cause analysis. And after root cause analysis, we need to take corrective actions to solve the problem. Somehow maybe that some of us used to misuse or understanding about the immediate actions, or we can call that this is somehow contained actions. And we think that those immediate actions are correct actions. So this is the slide that we will remind a little bit about the definitions and explain the meaning and difference between about the containment actions and corrective actions. So containment action is the taking immediate steps when a non-conformance is found to prevent it from spreading and causing further damage, or to minimize its consequence. For example, when a defective product is detected, some containment actions such as we can stop the production process, we can stop delivery, inform the customer, and isolate the defective goods, etc. that we mentioned in previous slide related to the containment actions. And for the corrective actions, it is the actions to eliminate the root cause of the detected non-conformity, and their main purpose is to prevent the repeating of this non-conformity in the future. So corrective actions are developed based on the identified root cause of the non-conformance. One important thing is that the containment actions must be kept until the root cause is found and fully eliminated by corrective action. Next slide, please. So as soon as root cause has been identified, your team needs to come up with solutions and actions to solve the issues. And the important thing to remind is corrective actions must be based on the root cause analysis. The first step in formulating corrective action is we identify potential solutions, and then we establish selection criteria for solutions. Then we can also review and select the most appropriate ones. Then we need to also develop the long and short-term solutions. For the short-term solution, normally we can done within the 6 months. Then we also create the clear action plan, meaning that what action as, who will take actions, or who will be the responsible for, and when the actions will be completed. One step is also very important is that we also need to test the solutions before implementing, or we also retest on a small scale before mass adoption to see how effective they are. If there are still similar issues or new issues arise, so the team should come back to root cause analysis process again to clarify if any root cause were missed out or any current corrective actions were wrong. Next slide, please. Thus, you can see that there is a certain connection between determining the root cause and taking corrective actions. So besides of eliminating the cause of the non-conformities or undesirable situations, the effective corrective actions can also bring other benefits to your organizations. For example, it can prevent the recurrence of the non-conformity. The second will reduce the rate of the defective products and reduce product recalls or reduce work-related accidents, and also minimize customer complaints, etc. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have gone through all the training theory, including about the root cause analysis, corrective actions, etc. So in this slide, I would like to wrap up our 8-step approach to systematic problem skills. So this method generally covers 3 parts with 8 steps. The first part is to understand about the situation, including about the D0 to D3. The second part is investigate a cause. So normally we can use about the fishbone and 5 why methods, and also about the D4.
Tán đề
to
mà
find
cái
the
chữ
root
nước
cause.
nữa.
And the last part is to eliminate the problem, including about the D5 and D8.
Bên này kia ta
Yeah.
phải
One reminder is that you can always follow the same logic, but you can go deeper or not so deep, as long as we can figure out the root cause and effective corrective actions for your organization. Yeah. And do not overdo a simple problem. I mean that don't make the problem so complicated.
thành ra
Okay.
8
So before we will take about 10 minutes for break. So do you have any questions? Please type in the text box.
Số không nữa.
Thank you, Heng. I think we have still have 8 minutes before break time. I think we have one comment on the chat box. So the question is that may I have more explanation on fact-finding result
nói chung nó vẫn
verification
cũ mà,
completed,
vẫn cũ mà vẫn rất là
meaning
phân
to
tích
handle
về
the form.
hành động phòng ngừa rồi xác minh
Measure
theo dõi
direct
hành
course.
động phòng ngừa
Percentage
thế
score
thôi mà đúng không?
of the impact. So maybe Anton, if possible, could you explain a little bit on your concern or question?
Yes, student.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Last week I also handled this template to RCA for the problem from concern. But to verify for this step, verification matrix, I don't really understand fact-finding results verification complete. Is that meaning on this form? How to fill in this problem or verify the root cause for this template?
So it's mean how we.
Yes,
Okay.
you can go down.
Maybe.
Yes, after finding the root cause by on the response or the by white like this, how to verify magic on this template?
Okay. Yes, maybe I can explain a little bit, and my colleague will be adding if we have some more point. So for the first column on the verification metric, potential direct causes, this is exactly what you have analyzed from the 6M fishbone. So you will bring here, and from that, it depends on the potential causes from fishbone. Then
Yes.
maybe you need to go to the factory floor. Maybe you need to go to kind of like if it's related to supplier or sub-supplier. And the fact finding here is mean you have enough evidence. Enough evidence, yes, to really say that the resource is okay or not okay. If yes, if you said that we have enough evidence to say that it's not potential causes. So in the last column, make sure direct causes is not relevant. So it's not relevant. So because you have already have the evidence to say that I have this data analyzed, you go to the factory floor. You said that your production record already everything to prove that this is not
Yeah.
potential causes. So you eliminate this one out of the table. So you not really bring this one to the next step. Find why.
Okay, that is verified. This which is the real cost to make problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I would like to add a comment. I would like to add that for the major direct cost column, is not the column where we mention the percentage. This is where we mention yes, just yes or no. So once we confirm it's yes, we will bring it to the 5Y analysis. So when we say no, it means that we will put it aside and we'll go with that potential direct cost.
Okay. May I share my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. After the fishbone analysis, we define some costs belong to the main factor impact to the problem. Like this, we totally have a tool to reason the cost. If you verify matrix, you do like this. In the result, I define the 80 or 20% to impact the the problem. That we define which is the measure of the cost impact to problem. So this is correct or not?
Maybe I can share. Can you make it bigger a little bit?
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
For example, for the missing carefully review action on the amendments of the specs.
Yeah.
So before you go to verify, you should define what is the careful review.
Yeah.
Do you have any checklist already? Do you have any procedure to talk about review action? So you should complete for the procedure first and check the checklist first. If it's available, you move to the next step that they follow or not. And if only put the potential and fact-finding no any data means that you do not have the procedure or checklist to require people need to review, right? So that's the fact-finding that you don't have the procedure or the checklist to prove that they review.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the way how you verify. Or in case you have the procedure and you said that every 2 weeks they need to review. But in the report, they not review in 2 weeks. They're missing review in 2 months already. So that is the deviation already,
chất
right?
lượng này là ở đây.
And then this is the major direct cost,
Bảo số này
for example.
Chị biết rồi, nhưng mà ý là cái câu này mình chưa nhìn rõ là nó đang
Thank
làm
you,
về cái
Anton. Okay, and then I think we still have one more question on the chat box from QT. Who is responsible to verify the potential direct root cause? So I think that for this point, it should be from the RCA team. So I mentioned before that it's very important to form a team which is related to the deviation, and you will need to have the RCA leader as well. And for this verification, you need to assign the people related to that deviation to really come to production floor or come to sub-supplier or other factor potential person to really verify this one. But it should be the RCA team who really understand the kind of like the deviation. Yeah. Is this answer your question from QT? From QT team? Okay, then I think that if you still have more questions on the AD principle or the RCA templates or staircase, you prepared, and we can discuss further on the next section after supplier sharing. So I think that now we have 10 minutes for coffee, tea, or some other stuff, and see you back at 2:10 after 10 minutes. Thank you and bye bye.
See you.